The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Welcome, fight fans, to Belfast, Northern Ireland. We've got a stellar card for you tomorrow night. We're here for the weigh-ins today. And walking in the halls of SSE Arena, the big news. Paul Hughes, Belfast's own favorite son, and a rising star in the world of mixed martial arts.
This is home for me. I fight for these people. To prove, you see, we're a city of fighters that punch above our weight. In fact, we might just be the best. But to be put in the pedestal here, you have to have heart, grit, iron, and balls of steel. And that's exactly what I've shown. It doesn't matter who you put in front of me, anyone, anytime, any place. The world title was close, and next time I'll make sure.
Wait to see if we brought it to Belfast, you'd see a whole other level.
But for now, this is my home, and this is my homecoming.
Welcome inside SSE Arena, Sean O'Connell, the legendary outlaw Dan Hardy, who also pulls double duty as head of fighter operations for PFL Europe. And we've got a great PFL Europe card headlined by big news Paul Hughes and Bruno Miranda. The city is abuzz with this card, with tomorrow night. Heavy anticipation. I came through passport control, and he asked me, what are you here for? What are you in Belfast for? I said, I'm here to watch some fights. He said, Paul Hughes? It's a big night.
It's a huge night. And obviously, you know, people have been excited about Paul Hughes for the majority of his career, but something special's happened in the last 12 months. You know, the AJ McKee fight, the Usman Nurmagomedov performance, that has just skyrocketed Paul Hughes' name. And this arena is going to be filled with people cheering for him tomorrow.
And his opponent, Bruno Miranda, we asked him in the fighter meetings today, are you comfortable being the bad guy? He said, I love being the bad guy. I love being the underdog. He's embracing this role, Dan Hardy.
He really is. You know, he sees this as not only a big opportunity to beat someone like Paul, but also get himself in striking distance of Nurmagomedov. But the reality is, like, he's got all the skills that he needs to do it. He's going to be the one trying to silence this whole crowd and put Paul away. And that is, you know, easier said than done. But Bruno Miranda has the skills to do it. It's very, very dangerous, especially from the opening bell. He starts very quickly.
Take a look at the career resume for Robusto Bruno Miranda. 11 of his 17 professional victories have come inside the distance. He's won 8 of his last 10. And he's comfortable in the smart cage, a lot more experienced in this PFL promotion than Paul Hughes is. Bruno's been with us since 2022. Now let's talk about this young man. The fighting pride of Ireland, Paul Hughes right now is one of the rising stars in the sport of mixed martial arts. And there's no such thing as a moral victory, Dan Hardy, but even coming off a performance that ended up in a loss in that title bout against Usman Nurmagomedov, his star's still on the rise. It's very odd to see that in combat sports.
It really is, and I think, you know, partly it was his performance, and partly, you know, the way that he carries himself. You know, people want to support him. They want to see him succeed because he's such a likable individual. But you can also tell that, and he said this to us many times today in the fighter interviews, this is everything. Fighting is everything for me, and you can tell that by the way he approaches his career.
In the fighter meetings, we talked about the regionality and how important it was for him to headline a show in Belfast. This is where he's rooted. This is where his career started. This is where he made the transition from the traditional Gaelic sports at age 17 into the world of mixed martial arts. And he is one of the biggest stars, not only in Europe, but in the world at 155 pounds. He's also here already, as we showed you in SSE Arena. He's in fact cage side right now with Anita Jones.
Yeah, Sean, what a privilege it is to be cage side with the Pride of Ireland. In 24 hours, Paul, you will be headlining a main event in your hometown, a childhood dream. How does it feel?
it feels extra special. I mean, just coming out here when everything's being set up, the stage is here, some people are being let in. It's a shame that there's not thousands of people let in here, but we got some in the building. It's unbelievably special. It is dreams come true.
There are a few people here. What's your message for those that are coming tomorrow, that are coming to this spectacle, coming to hopefully see you get over the line?
My message is thank you for everything, and I've finally brought it home. Look, my people have travelled far and wide to come support me across the world. It's been Saudi Arabia, it's been Dubai, but I've dragged the PFL back home, and that is my small opportunity to give back.
You were so close last time out against Usman Nurmagomedov. What is the motivation to get the job done tomorrow against Bruno Miranda, who knows he's the underdog?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I am not looking past Bruno in any stretch of imagination. He is an unbelievably durable and dangerous opponent, so he is 100% all I'm focused on right now.
Well, Sean, there you have it from the Pride of Ireland. Paul Big News Hughes, he is ready for tomorrow.
Well, it's not all Paul Hughes tomorrow night. He is one half of our main event, but we've got a lot of business to take care of as we start the early card with these 5 fights. You'll see those lightweight PFL Europe tournament fights throughout the card tomorrow night. This is for a $100,000 belt and, of course, an opportunity potentially, if you can win Europe, to be invited to the global season and the bigger cash prize. That's your main card. 5 tomorrow in Belfast. Time for the weigh-ins with Andy Shepherd.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, we are just 24 hours away from this place being absolutely buzzing for the homecoming of big news, Paul Hughes. And I tell you what, along with that main event, a scintillating, mouth-watering co-main event, and of course the PFL Europe lightweight tournament commences. All we've got to do now is commence our ceremonial weigh-ins, and to help oversee those 2 hats, we've got the outlaw Dan Hardy, our head of fighter operations for PFL Europe, and also let's welcome another man to the stage, the managing director of International at PFL, Mr. James Fruin. Our first fight of the night tomorrow night is a showcase bout in the featherweight division. It's Corey McLaughlin versus Nahom Wedi. First to the scales, in the blue corner, he makes his PFL debut tomorrow night and fights out of Dublin, Ireland, Nahom Blessed Wedi.
Young man of Eritrean descent, Nahom Wedi, was absolutely buzzing, excited, wide-eyed at the opportunity to have such an opportunity on a big stage, knowing how many people are going to be packing the building at SSC Arena. And he's so early in his mixed martial arts career, he said, I can't wait to show these people how good I am, what I'm capable of.
Official weight 145.6 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, also making his PFL debut tomorrow night. He fights out of Belfast, Northern Ireland, Corey McLaughlin.
McLaughlin certainly set to be the local favorite as he's waving that Northern Irish flag. Wants to make good in front of the hometown crowd. He will have, he said, at least 100 people in attendance.
Official weight for Corey, 145.8 pounds.
And look at this. First weigh-in of the night, already going forehead to forehead. McLaughlin and Wedi.
Our first fight of the night tomorrow night. It's Corey McLaughlin versus Nahom Wedi. And our second fight tomorrow night will take place in the women's flyweight division. It's a showcase bout as Gemma Auld takes on Sammy Jo Luxton. First to the scales, in the blue corner, she fights out of Manchester, England, the Ghetto Cinderella, Sammy Jo Luxton.
Sammy Jo making a long-awaited PFL debut, came in for this one in great shape. She's been through so much recently, had some surgeries. battled all the way back.
Sammy weighs in at 125.6 pounds. And her opponent in the red corner, she fights out of Kilmarnock, Scotland, Gemma Auld.
Gemma Auld off to a promising start as a mixed martial artist after a lifelong love of rugby.
Auld weighs in at 125.2 pounds. Our flyweight bout tomorrow night, Gemma Auld versus Sammy Joe Luxton. Our next fight tomorrow night will be Ewan Sheridan against Malachi Edwards. First to the scales in the blue corner, fighting out of Manchester, England, Malachi the General Edwards.
Malachi Edwards in the fighter meetings told us he has been ready for this opportunity for years, now finally getting a chance on the big stage.
Official weight 170.7 pounds. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, Owen the Sheriff Sheridan.
Sheridan still undefeated as a professional, and as you can see, a massive, massive welterweight.
The Sheriff tips the scales at 171 pounds.
This might be, and I'm not exaggerating, the tallest, longest welterweight bout in the history of the sport. Look at these guys. That's a former world title challenger in Dan Hardy standing between them in the same weight class.
These two huge welterweights will face off tomorrow night. Owen Sheridan against Malachi Edwards. And our next contest begins the first round of the PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament, and it's Claudia Pacella versus Gavin Hughes. First to the scales, from Liverpool, England, Big Tasty, Gavin Hughes.
11 pro victories, 10 of those have come inside the distance. An almost equal distribution of knockouts and submissions, a well-rounded representative of England here.
Official weight for Hughes, 155.3. And his opponent in the red corner, he fights out of Dublin, Ireland, by way of Rome, Italy, Claudio Pacella.
Claudio Pacella, he's multilingual in real life, and he is incredibly versatile inside the smart cage.
Pacella weighs in at 155 pounds.
Little jaw jacking already between these guys this week.
Gonna steal the show. Face forward.
It's our first PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament bout. It's Claudia Pacella versus Gavin Hughes.
Winner will advance to a PFL Europe Lightweight semi-final.
And the lightweight tournament continues with this next bout as Mark Ewan takes on Alex Chizov. First to the scales, in the blue corner, he fights out of Riga, Latvia, Alex Pretty Boy Chizov.
The Pretty Boy hoping the third time is the charm here for him in the PFL Europe tournament.
155.4 for Chizov. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Huntly, Scotland, Mark Ewan.
Ewan coming off a big-time first-round submission victory on home soil in Glasgow, Scotland.
156 on the dot for Ewan.
Again, another first-round fight in this PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament. Winner advances, loser goes home.
Face forward.
It's a first round lightweight contest in the PFL Europe Tournament. Mark Ewan versus Alex Chizov.
Intense stare down between these two competitors.
Our next bout moves into the middleweight division. It's a showcase fight as Hyder Khan takes on Sean McCormack. First to the scales in the blue corner, he fights out of Dublin, Ireland. It's the Voodoo Child, Sean McCormack.
Fan favorites, Sean McCormack.
Sean weighs in at 188 pounds. And his opponent in the red corner fights out of Manchester, England, Hyder Khan.
This fight contested at a catchweight. Khan not able to get down to the limit. McCormack still willing to fight.
194.1 for Khan. It's Hyder Khan versus Sean McCormack tomorrow night right here at the SSE Arena. The first round of the PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament continues in this next bout as McLaughlin versus Gino Van Steenis. To the scales, first in the blue corner, fighting out of Altea, Spain, the Ghost Assassin, Gino Van Steenis.
Van Steenis with a kickboxing background, and of course the younger brother of PFL title challenger Costello Van Steenis, who you see in his corner.
Van Steenis weighs in at 156 pounds. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Newry, Northern Ireland, McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, another fan favorite here. His hometown about 45 minutes away from Belfast at SSE Arena.
McLaughlin hits the scales at 156 pounds.
Lightweight first round fight. Winner advances in the PFL Europe tournament toward a $100,000 belt and prize.
McLaughlin and Gino Van Steenis face off right here tomorrow night in Belfast. Next fight continues the first round of the PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament as Paul Hughes takes on Sebastian De Franco. First up in the blue corner, fighting out of Brussels, Belgium, Sebastian De Franco. De Franco weighs in at 155.3 pounds. And his opponents in the red corner, fighting out of Liverpool, England, Paul Hughes.
Last year's PFL Europe tournament runner-up, Paul Hughes.
Official weight for Hughes, 155.7.
England versus Belgium. In this one, De Franco has a twin brother, also a fighter.
Tomorrow night, Paul Hughes versus Sebastian De Franco in the PFL Europe Lightweight Tournament.
Let's go!
Another look at our playoff bracket in this lightweight division for PFL Europe. Hughes and De Franco, you just saw on the scales. Pacella and Gavin Hughes, Mark Ewan, Alex Chizov, McLaughlin, and Gino Van Steenis. All set to fight for a spot in the semifinal.
Well, our next bout is our co-main event in the bantamweight division. It's Lewis McGrillen versus Alan Philpott. Our first fight to the scales. He's our former BAMMA bantamweight champion and fights out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. He is Super Ali, Alan Philpott. Official weight for Philpott, 135.6. And his opponent in the red corner, he is the 2024 PFL Europe bantamweight champion and fights out of Manchester, England. This is Lewis, the McGrizzler, McGorilla. The McGrizzler weighs in at 136 pounds on the dot.
McGrillen, a rising star. Philpott making his first return to Belfast for a fight in over a decade. He's been in Australia and New Zealand battling it out. Back on home soil.
Our co-main event, the McGrizzler Lewis McGrillen versus Alan Philpott.
All right, I got a question for each of these guys. This is a big fight. I want to hear from both of you. First of all, Alan, it's been a long time returning to this arena. It's a special place and a special crowd. How are you feeling?
Oh, unbelievable, man. From the minute I got this fight, it's been nothing but positivity, and I can't wait to get in there tomorrow night and show what I'm truly capable of.
The McGrizzler's a good opponent for you?
One of the best, and that's going to bring the best out of me.
Good luck, my friend. See you tomorrow. Lewis, what do you think of Alan as an opponent? Loads of experience, hometown crowd behind him. What are your thoughts?
He had his day. Every dog has his day, but I will end his career in Belfast.
Message to the fans.
Yo, how it's gonna go down, mate. You're gonna get it cracking. And you're getting knocked out cold, that kid.
It's gonna be a great fight. That's the co-main event. Thank you, gentlemen. Andy, back to you.
And now we move to our main event of the evening. It's in the lightweight division. It's Paul Hughes versus Bruno Miranda. First to the scales, fighting out of the blue corner from Phuket, Thailand, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Bruno Miranda.
Bruno Miranda, a violent striker. He will look to start this fight fast, throw big-time combinations, and stay on his feet, hoping for back-to-back wins.
Miranda weighs in at 153.1 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Paul Big News Hughes.
Tickets for this one are hard to come by, and that man right there is perhaps the biggest reason. Big news, Paul Hughes.
Paul Hughes weighs in at 156 pounds.
Speaking with Paul Hughes in the fighter meetings, he said, coming back here, selling out this arena at SSE, as important to him as winning any belt. He has an opportunity to make good on this tomorrow night.
It's our main event of the evening in the lightweight division. Paul Big News Hughes versus Bruno Miranda.
All right, main event. What a fight this is going to be. And what an opponent we have for Paul Hughes in his hometown. Bruno, talk to me about coming into enemy territory and being the bad guy.
It's a pleasure. I'm sorry for the Irish crowd. I have a big support here as well, but I have to make everyone upset here.
What are your thoughts on Paul as an opponent?
Sorry?
What do you think about Paul as an opponent?
It's very good. A very good opportunity for me.
And how do you get the fight won? What's your prediction?
Finish before the end.
Okay, okay. Going for a finish, Paul. In front of your hometown crowd. Now, look, this is a dream come true for you, but how do you make it not become a nightmare?
Look, I'm too damn good. I am the best in the world, and I'm going to prove that again tomorrow night.
And we've only got a few people in the arena, but tomorrow night's going to be absolutely packed. Have you envisaged that? What the feeling light's going to be on the walkout?
I tell you what, it would have been packed if this was open to the public. We would have had a lot more people here, but we were limited. Look at that. Unbelievable. Look, tomorrow night, I make my dreams come true. My people have been supporting me all across the world. It was Dubai, it was Saudi Arabia. Let's go. And finally, I've got to repay that favour and bring it home here. And I trust me, something special is coming tomorrow night, as it always does.
And without giving too much away, can you give us a prediction?
Knockout.
Knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be an incredible main event. Paul Hughes, big news in Belfast, taking on Bruno Miranda. What a fantastic fight. Andy, back to you.
Everyone has weighed in. That means the job is half done. Tomorrow night, it's all about building toward that main event. Paul Hughes, Bruno Miranda. And look, I have to tell you this. Paul Hughes, a lot of people in the MMA world said, just wait for the rematch. You get another belt opportunity against Usman Nurmagomedov. The performance was so strong, you could just sit back and wait. Paul Hughes said, I don't want to do that. I'm a fighter. I want to fight. I want to fight in Belfast, in front of the home crowd. I want to sell out this SSE arena. And you know what? We are a ticket or two away from that being a reality tomorrow night. Bruno Miranda also stepped in to what he knows is going to be a hostile environment and an incredibly difficult fight. Dan Hardy, I am buzzing. This entire city is buzzing. The other fighters on the card all had something to say about this main event. Even the guys who are building toward potentially a matchup with somebody like Paul Hughes if they can win the Europe tournament. This is an incredible night, and we're 24 hours away.
I cannot wait. I mean, I've got goosebumps all over my body right now. You know, the first fight set the tone. Wedi came out, Corey came out, faced off forehead to forehead, and then after that, everybody on the card was like, right, let me have my face-off. And obviously, the main event was just all class, all respect, but real intensity in both the fighters.
It's going to be a wild one at SSE Arena in Belfast. Make sure you are here with us. Lightweight PFL Europe tournament. Winners advance to the semifinals. If you can take home the $100,000 check and the belt, you might get an invitation to be part of the global tournament next year. And of course, we build toward a co-main event featuring Philpott and McGrizzla. A main event with Bruno Miranda and Paul Hughes. We'll see you tomorrow night. SSE Arena, Belfast, for the PFL.